She was a cultural icon and a pop legend. But now that Cher has turned 80, her son has confirmed something fans have long suspected. Before diving into that surprising truth, let's take a closer look at her incredible and at times heartbreaking journey. Cher was born in 1946 with the beautiful name Sherilyn Sarkisian. Her parents, Georgia Holt and John Sarkisian, shared a passionate romance, but it didn't last. They divorced when Cher was just a baby. While heartbreaking, the separation may have spared her even more pain. Her father was deeply troubled, plagued by drug abuse and gambling, with no intention of changing. This left Cher with a distant and uneasy view of him. Growing up without her father's support, Cher had to navigate life's difficulties on her own. Still, she took immense pride in her Armenian heritage, a pride her father had passed down before vanishing from her life, later reinforced by her stepfather after her mother remarried. But stability was short-lived. Georgia had a pattern of marrying and divorcing multiple times, creating a chaotic home life. Financial instability made things worse. Her mother's acting and singing careers couldn't provide a steady income, and Cher was forced to move frequently, rarely settling in one place for long. Amid this unpredictability, Cher leaned into her natural talents and inner resilience. She refused to let adversity define her. Instead, she used her strength and determination to rise above it all. Her courage helped shape her into one of the most iconic figures in entertainment history. Cher's story is a testament to perseverance. Her authenticity, talent, and spirit built a loyal global fan base, inspired by her ability to overcome hardship and find success. Her life reminds us that we all have the strength to face our challenges and carve our own path. At just 6 years old, Cher faced a traumatic moment. Her mother placed her in a Catholic orphanage due to financial struggles. While this was not uncommon at the time, it left deep emotional scars. Still, Georgia visited her every single day. That consistent connection was a powerful display of a mother's love, and it left a lasting impression on both Cher and her half-sister Jorgan. Cher's high school experience was just as difficult. She never fit into the traditional education system. Though intelligent and deeply creative, she often felt isolated from her peers. Eventually, she dropped out in the 11th grade, not because of laziness or rebellion, but due to undiagnosed learning disorders, dyslexia and dyscalculia. These made reading and understanding numbers incredibly challenging. Back then, very little was known about learning differences. Instead of receiving support, Cher was criticized and left feeling even more isolated. She lived in a world where her true self clashed with the persona she created just to survive. Her academic and home life struggles left her feeling hopeless, until everything changed. Cher moved to Los Angeles and met Sonny Bono, a songwriter and record promoter who immediately recognized her raw potential. Despite their age difference, Sonny saw something special in Cher and offered to mentor her. She eagerly accepted. Few know that Cher began her career as a live-in housekeeper. It was a humble start for someone destined for greatness. With Sonny's help, her natural stage presence and angelic voice began to shine. Their creative partnership quickly grew stronger. Together, they released hits like I Got You Babe and The Beat Goes On, winning hearts around the world. But their attempt to transition into film was met with resistance. Their 1967 movie, Good Times, flopped, criticized for its lack of cohesion and comedy. It was a harsh reminder that success in one field doesn't guarantee success in another. Still determined, they followed up with Chastity in 1969, a more serious, dramatic project. Unfortunately, it too failed to connect with audiences and critics. The commercial disappointment was devastating, both emotionally and financially. These back-to-back failures were a turning point. Cher and Sonny faced the painful reality that even with talent and fame, the entertainment industry could be brutal. Every move came with risk, and when those risks didn't pay off, the consequences were very real. Most people would have given up on the entertainment industry after facing so many setbacks. But Cher and Sonny were far from ordinary. The failures in their film careers only fueled their determination. Their strong will and resilience helped them push through even the darkest of times. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, as musical trends began to shift, particularly with the rise of psychedelic rock, Sonny and Cher found themselves out of sync with the changing industry. Their signature pop and folk style was being overshadowed, and financial struggles worsened. Still, they didn't give up. They adapted by transforming themselves from pop singers into live performers, eventually finding success in this new space. Their reinvention reached a peak with the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, which became a defining moment in their careers. Debuting in 1971, the variety show allowed them to transition from hit musicians to beloved television personalities. The program showcased their quick wit, musical talents, and infectious chemistry. With a unique mix of sketch comedy, musical performances, and celebrity guests, the show quickly captivated audiences and became a weekly staple. Their skits ranged from playful parody to sharp social commentary, often drawing inspiration from pop culture and even their own personal experiences. The show also helped spotlight emerging talent and regularly featured some of the biggest names in entertainment. Their ability to mix humor, music, and star power ensured the show's massive success and cultural impact. Despite the show's success, personal cracks began to form. Their marriage, once seemingly unbreakable, was unraveling behind the scenes. Both Sonny and Cher became involved in extramarital affairs. Their strong moral stance and anti-drug views once aligned them with a certain segment of their audience, but they failed to resonate with a new, more progressive youth culture. This disconnect sparked an identity crisis as they struggled to keep up with shifting expectations. Their relationship suffered under the weight of fame, personal struggles, and the pressure of staying relevant in an ever-changing world. Even though Sonny made repeated efforts to save their marriage, driven by love and desperation, the damage had been done. After a period of soul-searching and public appearances that hinted at reconciliation, the couple announced their love for one another once again and officially married on March 4, 1969. The birth of their child, Chastity's son Bono, later known as Chaz Bono, further solidified their bond. Their family life gave them both joy and renewed public interest. A guest appearance on The Merv Griffin Show reignited their popularity, so much so that CBS offered them a television deal. The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour quickly became a nationwide hit, first introduced as a summer replacement, and then extended into a full series thanks to overwhelming viewer demand. Cher's rise as a fashion icon also took off during this period, thanks in part to her collaboration with designer Bob Mackie. His daring artistic creations perfectly matched Cher's glamorous image and helped define the look of the 1970s entertainment scene. The couple also attempted to revive their music careers. Collaborations with producer Snuff Garrett resulted in major hits like Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, The Way of Love, and the album Foxy Lady. However, Garrett eventually parted ways with them due to tensions with Sonny. Later albums like Bittersweet White Light and Stars failed to connect with listeners. Some fans believe that Stars flopped in part because it was released shortly after Cher and Sonny's divorce in 1975. Despite the end of their marriage, Cher's career didn't slow down. In 1975, she signed a major solo deal with Warner Bros. Although her first album under the label wasn't an immediate commercial success, it has since been recognized as one of her strongest artistic efforts. That same year, Cher launched her solo television show, simply titled Cher, which was met with great enthusiasm from both fans and critics. The show gave her a platform to shine, mixing music, comedy, and bold fashion, further establishing her as a powerhouse entertainer. Later in 1975, Cher married Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers Band. This marriage brought both joy and turmoil. Allman's battle with addiction created ongoing issues in their relationship. Still, Cher stood by him, hoping to help him recover. Together they had a son, Elijah Blue Allman. His birth brought meaning and unity to their relationship. But eventually the burden of addiction proved too great, and they divorced in 1979. Years later, in November 2022, a shocking incident rocked the family once again. Cher's now 46-year-old son, Elijah, was reportedly abducted from his New York hotel room. Surprisingly, Cher herself was accused of orchestrating the abduction to prevent him from reuniting with his estranged wife. Cher has firmly denied the allegations, stating she acted only out of concern as a mother. Elijah, meanwhile, has publicly acknowledged his ongoing struggle with drug addiction. something that continues to complicate his relationship with his mother. Despite the love between them, addiction has created painful distance and heartbreak that neither fame nor fortune could mend.